Hi everyone, my name is Abigail Martinez. I am an incoming senior at the University of Florida studying health, education, and behavior. I was lucky enough to go on the study abroad program to London and Paris this summer of 2023, and I'm going to answer some interview questions um, about the program itself. So, what surprised me the most about the trip was learning about all the different healthcare systems in both London and Paris and making those comparisons and forming broader connections between the pros and cons, seeing firsthand these changes and what we could do to better our system in the United States. It was really insightful to see the different healthcare trends and health trends overall, such as physical activity, environmental health, all of the different dimensions of wellness, seeing them firsthand and comparing them back to what we view as like the health trends that are happening in the United States and how we can improve ourselves, or how different countries can improve themselves. Um, it was so amazing to see firsthand, and I feel like that surprised me because I did not realize um, how it would be living as a student in these large cities. So I enjoyed the most about this trip. What I enjoyed the most about this trip was getting to travel with my class to different places that I normally wouldn't visit. So in London, one of the places we got to visit was Kew Gardens, and it was for our environmental health module, and it was the most amazing garden. I would go back one day. It was a massive park. They had so many opportunities. There was a botanical garden, and Princess Diana had a conservatory there. They had a food garden. They had an entire school there. It was just amazing to see the different levels of environmental health and how important it is to the people of Kew and the people of the broader area of London. And then in Paris, I really liked visiting the museums. I feel that the history there and the artwork, um, it was unlike anything I've ever experienced. And being able to see the architecture and how and learning how long it has been there, it was just life changing to realize how long people have been on Earth and have been building, and just how many people have lived before me. I feel like that's a large thing in healthcare, the people around you and the lessons we've learned from history. I feel like history and health go hand in hand. And I honestly, thinking back, experiencing all of my, all of these memories, the only thing I would like to experience more was meeting people from other courses. There were four different courses available, and I met some of my peers during group activities, but I would love to have formed closer connections and friendships with more people if I had the chance to. And personally, I've grown a lot. I definitely think I have. I unfortunately got sick in London, but I was able to nurse myself back to health, and take care of myself in a different country. And then also, I took the underground by myself in London. I was very proud of myself because that is a whole system. It's a large system, and I did it, and I learned, and I put myself out there. Personally, I also pushed myself out of my comfort zone, um, and so that was a great experience. And then as a student, I've grown. I was able to balance um, schoolwork and um, being with my friends that were on the program with me and completing my assignments, all of my assignments, such as my postcards and reflections. You can see them on this website, Abigail Abroad. And so I'm very proud of myself for completing everything and for putting my best work out there, the best I could do. And then professionally, I've grown a lot. I met Dr. O in person. I did take an online course with Dr. O, but I had never met her in person. I feel like um, learning so much about healthcare, especially from someone with such a great, um, just a love for teaching and a passion for being with others and guiding others. It was so great for me professionally because I saw what I want to be, like the type of person I would love to be, and how I would love to grasp myself, and like how I would love people to feel around me. I would love to make people feel how Dr. L makes her students feel. And then overall, this experience has definitely changed me. I feel like I'm very aware of my surroundings, and very aware of um, making comparisons and saying what can be better. How can we learn from London? How can we learn from the public transportation systems? I have a very I ask a lot of more questions now, and I'm happy that I do, because I feel like curiosity is one of the best attributes you can have, and I definitely learned that during this trip. So, thank you so much for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Abigail Martinez, and this is my portfolio about my study abroad experience titled Abigail Abroad. So, this is the homepage for Abigail Abroad, and I selected this image because it is very peaceful in Paris, and I think that it perfectly describes um, the feeling that you have when you're traveling and learning new information. It's peaceful and it's welcoming and inviting, and it just gives you a nice feeling. And so I chose that one. It's also very beautiful and shows the architecture of Paris, and the water, and the Seine was one of my favorite parts, and it reminds me of our river cruise also. So, a global health perspective is really important because it allows you to recognize the positives and negatives of health care, and um, how you can improve your own health, your self care, your physical activity. I feel that having a global health perspective, um, by studying abroad, I was able to develop my perspective, and it definitely shifted a lot in the 3 weeks we were there. Uh, I now recognize different things that I did not know were so important to me as before, such as walking a lot, accessibility, nutrition, having food dyes and different preservatives in your food that might not be great for your health. There are so many different things that I've learned about that have shifted my mindset, and my understanding of health in general, by going with UF to Paris and London. And so next we have our about me section. So a little bit about myself. I am entering my fourth year at the University of Florida. I'm studying health education and behavior with a specialization in community health promotion. And I'm working towards going to graduate school for psychology. I hope to one day be a child and adolescent psychologist and work especially with those who experience autism and ADHD. I would love to bring more awareness to mental health. Um, and yeah, and so some of the components I included were a global health interview. This one right here, I just played it. I answered some questions about the study abroad program itself and what I liked about it, and there are some little stories, and yeah, so if you want to learn more about that, that is there. And then we also have my resume and my global health philosophy. So my global health philosophy highlights my perspective on global health, as I just previously discussed in more depth. Uh, I talk about nutrition and children's health and women's health. There are three major topics that really stuck out to me while learning, and while being abroad. And this is very important to me. It highlights the major things that resonated with me. And then we have practical experience. So here you can access my reflections. So I have 18 reflections, and these are basically, um, from my perspective, journal entries that were written almost every day throughout the program. And they're my perspective on different topics, and they're very um, they're very honest and truthful about how I feel about different things. And we were given different topics, and it was just a time to reflect on what you witnessed that day or what you experienced. So you can access them here or on this drop down. So here's a photo. This is my hotel room view in Paris. I loved it. I love the architecture in Paris. It's one thing I will always love to talk about. And then I bolded the different prompts and like the main idea of each. They are down here. Um, and there are six here, and then um, 1 through 6, and then 7 through 12 are here, as you can see, and then 13 through 18 are over here. And they're just little tidbits, information um, to learn more about me and about different things that are occurring in Europe. And then here are my postcards, which I um, created them to send to my family. And they also discuss different health trends and topics that I witnessed. There are 9 of these. One of my favorites I will show you is the environmental health in London and Paris. I really loved the environmental health in London. It was something that stuck out to me and I resonated a lot with it. And I learned so much um, about different systems and public transportation and how recycling and all the ways that London works and their government works to improve the environmental health there. And then I also love this one, number 8, because it's a pharmacy, and then there is a man cycling right in front of it. He just happened to be in the photo, but cycling is a major thing in Paris. In London, we did a bike ride in London, so that was something. But these pharmacies are there, and then they always have like a green cross. And then lastly, in my conclusion, actually talk about an experience I had in one of those pharmacies with the green crosses. And then over here is St. James Park in London. I loved the parks and the greenery. It just really benefited my mental health and my overall well being. And so this is my conclusion, talking about my goals for the future and how I've grown and different stories and topics that are important to me. I really loved having this experience, and I'm really grateful that I'm able to share it with you guys through Abigail Abroad. Thank you.